Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Good Fight Podcast. My name is not Kim Bickler, but I'm Zach. I've been on the podcast before. Kim is out for a few weeks, and she has graciously let me step in for her. So, I'm here. This is who you got. I hope you like it. And if not, you can let us know.
Turn it off.
Yeah, you can turn it off. I'm here with my new friend here, Audrey.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about music. But before we get into that, though, I kind of wanted to ask if you would be comfortable just sharing your story a little bit.
My story?
Your story.
Like, how did I get into music, or how did I get into church music?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the above.
Way back when. No, I'm kidding. I started playing violin whenever I was in second grade, and I was not a sports kid, so I did that instead. Played for a while through like the school program, and then eventually got into like fifth grade. It was actually my second grade music teacher that like one day he brought a bunch of instruments, and I was like, I'm gonna play that, and it was the trumpet.
Word.
And so I was like, one day I'll play that, and that's gonna be awesome. Ended up being fifth grade band. So we tried out on our instruments. I tried trumpet. I was like, yep, I'm on that. I like it. Ended up being like decently good at it, and played throughout junior high and high school. Went to college, and I started in music ed. And this whole time I was going to church and all, and I was like, man, it'd be so cool to be on worship team, play trumpet, but nobody wanted a trumpet. So I was like, okay. So I went to college, played. I started in music education, quit that for a second, took a semester off, switched schools, ended up graduating from Southern Mississippi with a degree in trumpet performance.
Nice.
Because I really liked the trumpet. And while I was in Mississippi, I was playing with a Baptist church group, which they had like an orchestra. So they had like trumpet, French horn, a couple strings. They had a choir. It was sweet. I liked doing that. And I was like, man, I want to do this whenever I move. And I started going to cultivation with my parents because they live over here. And so I'd come into town, go to a couple church Sundays, and then a couple Bible studies. And then one day, whenever I finally moved like to town here officially, they were like, oh, we have open auditions for worship. And I was like, would y'all take a trumpet? She was like, yeah, let's do it. And then boom, that was it. All
right.
So now I'm jamming on stage, and it's really fun.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I can remember in my student band in Kentucky years ago.
That's cool.
That we had a trumpet, and we probably should not have had that trumpet because we didn't know how to incorporate it well. We also had a saxophone.
Oh, saxophone's so good.
And a violin. Among like your typical like drums, keyboard, guitar, that kind of thing. But someone is having an argument outside.
They are.
But we did not know how to incorporate those things super well.
Did y'all have like sheet music?
Or
just playing on vibes?
We had both, a little bit of both. I think that we were kind of at a place where at the time I kind of really resented that we allowed so many instruments in because we didn't know what to do with it, and I was like, what are we doing? This is just distracting. But looking back, I kind of appreciate that we just tried. I gave these other friends a chance to use their gifts on their worship team, and even if it didn't necessarily sound great a lot of the time,
that's where you learn, though.
That's how you learn.
In the messy parts, that's when you're learning.
And that's how you figure out how to make things work like that. And I think that looking back, it was good experience. Not that I had like a huge hand in trying to figure out how to make
but still,
it work, but still,
you were with it.
It was with it.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But word. Yeah, I grew up playing piano and
I'm so jealous.
Singing. I tried to do bass. I gave up on that one because it hurt my fingies.
Oh no.
But
like an upright bass or like an electric bass?
Electric bass.
Either way, it's just too big. I can't
it's
do
so
that.
big. And my goal with piano was to not become one of those like adults that says to like kids that are taking piano, like, you better practice, because I took piano when I was your age and I didn't practice anymore, and so now I can't play. And so that was my only goal, and now I am one of those adults that I'm like, I stopped practicing, so you have to practice.
Yep.
But anyway,
we all do that as teachers, though.
we do. That's true. I still would love to go back to like try to relearn some of that. Everything I can play is just like bad muscle memory.
That's like me going back to violin and viola.
Yeah.
Like trumpet's my thing. I could do that in my sleep, but violin and viola, I have to think a little bit more with it. So I get that.
Yeah, but I kind of want to talk about this. The thing that made me think of this topic today is I'm in a Bible study at Living Word in Lacombe, which is Cam's church, on Wednesdays with their, I don't know if it's the worship team Bible study or if it's just like a Bible study that's worship themed. It's one of those.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
And
we have one of those at our church.
Yes.
That's neat.
And we were talking about just the kind of the like emotional and spiritual impacts of music, not just from like a lyrical standpoint.
Yes.
And then also a few weeks ago, you were baristaing and were playing a song that I recognized that I'd never heard outside of my own like headphones.
Heck yeah.
And it was instrumental, and so figured you'd be a good person to talk to about.
I love that kind of music.
So
it's like a soundtrack to everything.
Yes. And I think that something we were talking about on Wednesday was that worship music, modern worship music especially, gets crapped on a lot because it's very emotionally driven, which like I get the concern there. I do think that sometimes, especially modern worship music, can feel emotionally like manipulative at times.
Yeah, I get that.
But God made us as emotional creatures. That doesn't mean that every emotion is trustworthy.
Yes.
But
very true.
But I think that it's significant that music moves us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like that connects everybody with no words. Somebody from Malaysia could listen to a song and feel emotions that you're feeling.
Yes.
You don't have to speak about it.
Yes.
It's totally fine.
Yes.
Even if it was words, like sometimes just the background stuff that makes the song what it is, the structure of it, that's where it's all at.
That's so good. Or like, and like thinking about like David and Saul's relationship, where like David came in to play music for Saul, and it like Saul was an interesting guy.
Yes.
As we know from scripture, but I don't remember the exact wording, but in scripture it talks about how it literally like calmed Saul down, and I think like chased bad things away, which is just wild that music is so powerful in that way.
It is.
But I wonder if you could kind of speak to the impact, like spiritually, emotionally, whatever, that music has had on you.
To put it super simple, which is crazy because I thought this the other day, I feel more connected to God in a worship setting where either I'm playing or just listening than I do during any other part of the service. The message is good, don't get me wrong, and we need that. But during worship is where I feel the most either at peace or I feel like I can actually talk to God.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like, oh, he's listening more whenever we're singing to him.
Yeah.
He's listening all the time.
Yeah.
But I just feel like everything that I can think of that's having an effect in my life or whatever, I can say it during that.
Yes.
More than I can if I'm just like saying a little prayer at night or something like that.
No, I totally get that. There's this is maybe going to seem like a wild place to go, but Olivia Rodrigo has a song on her last album's like bonus tracks, I think, called "Scared of My Guitar." It got some flack because people said that it was kind of cheesy, but she talks about how she's scared of her guitar because she can't lie to her guitar.
That's so true. I have so many ideas for songs that I want to write. Will not write them because I'm scared of saying things out loud.
Yes, I think that music has a way of connecting us with what we're feeling. Even if I'm a little emotionally stunted at times. And so I sometimes will use music to connect with what I'm feeling and via that connect with God. And I think that it's a common saying that God meets us where we're at. And I think that for people that love music or are musically inclined, that worship music is definitely an example of God meeting us where we're at.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think that's so powerful and needed. And like you said, like that's just one aspect of like a worship service. Like the getting into the word and preaching is so important too. But that's definitely a place where I feel most connected with God. And like there have been times just like in my car or something where I'm like struggling to express, like trying to express how I'm feeling to the Lord.
Yeah,
you know?
it's hard to articulate a thought sometimes.
Yes. And so sometimes singing
helps,
or putting on a song can help.
I agree.
Yeah, even instrumental music, like if my head is very loud, I have ADHD, and so yes.
This is gonna be fun.
Yes, and so my head gets so
it's just
loud, thought. Yes.
Can't even finish the first one before you're starting the second.
And so putting instrumental music on sometimes is so helpful because there's no words.
No.
And it's meditative, I think, is a good word for it.
I feel like it's peeling, like a Twizzler. Like it's peeling the thoughts apart from each other, and I can actually separate them into like, okay, this is a relationship thing, this is a financial thing, and this is a work thing, something like that. It just quiets it down.
That's
like
so
you're
good.
saying. Yeah.
I think instrumental music is also helpful for me because I'm not just using someone else's words.
Yes.
And sometimes I need that too. And it's not like the Lord is going to be more or less glorified because I'm like singing
like you can sing in agreement though.
Yes, exactly.
So,
but sometimes it's helpful to use kind of as a backing to prayer or something like that. Yeah. But so you said that you've played trumpet and violin. Do you sing?
I can.
Yeah.
I'm a music teacher, so
okay.
I sing to my kids all the time.
Yeah.
That my main thing is I'll play guitar for them and sing because I cannot play piano. Got to college and they're like, you have to take piano classes to be a musician. I was like, oh my gosh, yay!
Okay.
I'm gonna be so great. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Y'all, I suck.
Oh.
It was bad.
Oh, no.
Like I'm talking, crying in the practice room. I'd send my videos in, and you can hear me like in the background. And so I don't play piano anymore, but I will play guitar. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm copying chord shapes, but I'll sing along and stuff. So I do like doing that every now and then. I'll kind of like pull that out, and I'll do my worship stuff like that. Not at church. That's just me, but I do enjoy that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, music just, I don't know. Sometimes I struggle to talk about music and a worship, or to know how to talk about it in relation to worship, because I don't want to end up just sounding like some artsy fartsy person with.
We are artsy fartsy people.
We are artsy fartsy people, and that's how God made us. And so, don't want to have my head in the clouds necessarily, but I mean, the Lord, again, He made us this way.
Yeah.
So, all of the questions that I had thought of have left my head.
You should have written them down.
I should have written them down. I should know that as an ADHD person that I should have written these questions down. But
that's okay.
Yeah.
What do you play, or do you sing?
I sing, and I used to play piano.
Nice. That's
right. No longer.
You can get back into it.
No longer. I could get back into it. I don't have a keyboard at home. Or well, I might
have a second one.
I have like a little MIDI keyboard that plugs into my laptop, but it's not a full keyboard.
Yeah, you want to have some room.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure that when I moved, one of the sliders, and I think it's the one for literally the like max volume slider came off. But it's okay.
That's rough. Yeah.
It's fine. But yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, baby.
Facebook Marketplace. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I'm trying to channel my inner Kim and think she's so good at asking hard questions.
Ooh, hard questions.
Yes. Okay, so you've told us your worship story. Do you feel comfortable sharing just like your testimony? Like, how did you come to know the Lord?
I was raised in church.
Yeah.
So we started going to church whenever I was like 4. That's whenever Church of the King moved into their annex building. That was the roller skating rink, if anybody remembers that. And then we stayed there until like we were in the big new church for a while. And then I stopped going to church kind of whenever I got to college. Yeah. And that's where stuff got dicey.
Yeah.
Poor decisions were made, obviously, as a college student who's not going to church and just trying to figure everything out. It's going to happen. But thank God I have like my parents. They would just pour into me, and trying to guide me to go the right way. And it worked. I could have come out so much worse. But so I got really, really sick. I don't know if it was because of like how I was taking care of myself, or if it was the environment, and it was extreme anxiety, because I dealt with anxiety and depression for a while. That was actually why I dropped out of UL and took that semester off. I was like, I need help because I'm about to go take a walk in Girard Park. Yeah. And if anybody knows what that is, you don't do that at night. Okay. I was just going to go take a walk. Yeah. And whatever happens, happens. That's kind of where I was at mentally. Okay. And so I remember like the semester ended for like Christmas and I was like, all right, I think I'm out of here. I need to work on myself for a little bit. So I got into therapy, and then I was living back at home with my parents who were like, all right, cool, you're coming to church with us. I'm like, all right. So I would go back to church, and I started feeling more connected to God and everything. And then we did this, I don't know if you call it a program or a ministry. Yeah. It's called Be in Health. And it's based out of, I can't remember the town name, little bitty town up in the mountains in Georgia. Yeah. And it was really cool. Like you went and they talked about deliverance and everything like that. So I handled a lot of my problems there, and I started to feel better. I was still dealing with some of the like illness stuff that would pop up, but it was better. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to try to keep myself on track. I did not. Yeah. And then got extremely sick. Yeah. I spent half of my 3 years there on the bathroom floor, to put it lightly. Lost so much weight. I was just sick constantly. I missed work so much. It's not because I didn't want to work. I wanted to feel normal. It was just that I wasn't putting myself in situations where I could be at peace at all. I was constantly in a state of like fight or flight. Ooh. And just feeling anxious all the time. It was awful. The depression was great. That was fine. Yeah. It was all the anxiety. Yeah. And so then in 2023, I moved to Franklinton, and I started teaching. I graduated by then and everything. And my parents were going to cultivation at that point. Yeah. This is like post-COVID. They had joined a small group, and then I would go every now and then whenever I was in town. And I loved it. It was awesome. The whole group is people who are like well older than me. Yeah. They're established adults. They have adult children. Yeah. And here I am like, I love them. That if I had like some giant occasion that I needed to invite a bunch of people to, they'd be the first ones that I'd be calling. If I have an issue, I can actually call them and be like, hey, I'm dealing with XYZ. Yeah. They're so sweet. So then I was still like, I was like, yeah, I believe in God. This whole time, yes, I believe in God. I'm not saying that I don't, and like I don't agree with anything like that. I just wasn't doing what I should have been doing, and it was costing me. Yeah. And so I was getting better and starting to like handle situations the way I should in a godly way, but it wasn't good enough. Like, and that sounds bad to say like that it's not good enough for God, but to me, it wasn't, you know?
I know what you mean.
I should have been doing a lot better. I knew better. I had had experience in Lafayette where I'm like, why is this happening again? Oh, that's because you did this or that. You know, I needed to be better. So, and at this point, I had developed like POTS symptoms, postural orthostatic tachycardia. My heart would beat extremely fast. It was making me feel terrible. And they put me on medication and stuff. I don't want to be on any of that. So I'm playing trumpet. And it was wild. Worship went on for like an hour and a half. Church was so long that day. And he came up to me whenever we kind of like had a pause. He would like speak, and then we'd start back up again, and he'd speak. He had a moment where we paused, and he came over to me and he grabbed my head. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm terrified. Yeah. And he told me, he was praying over me. I can't even remember everything that he said. But he was like, your heart is going to beat correctly.
You were like, huh?
My stomach dropped. Yeah. I haven't told anybody at church about that. And for him to say that, I was like, oh my gosh, God, that's you. Yeah. I need to listen. And so he's like, your heart's going to beat correctly. Something about my life, I need to be ready to like move. I was like, okay. And then later in that service, I think it might have been Pastor Matt. He came up to me and he pointed at my stomach, and he's like, your stomach is going to work correctly. Like, you are not going to have any more issues. Dude, from that day on, nothing. That's
wild.
Nothing.
Wild.
I stopped the medication immediately. I haven't. I rarely have a stomach ache.
Yeah.
Used to, it was like, oh, every day. Oh,
Yeah.
gotta go lay down for a couple hours because feel gross. Gone. And so from that point on, I was like, all right, we're done. This is how we're gonna live life now. And then that's it. That's where I've been ever since. It was really cool.
Isn't it so wild though that like
he kept coming after me?
Yes.
And I kept saying no.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Yes. I like. There have been so many seasons in my life where, like that, where I've like not stopped believing necessarily, but just haven't been really in pursuit of him, and how gracious he has been every time. Where like I feel like I stopped believing that he
is
pursues.
That good?
Yes.
Yeah.
And but really it was me that stopped pursuing, and even in that, there's always been a moment where God has stepped in like a wild way.
He shows you that he's right there.
Yes.
The whole time. And we're just being stubborn.
Crazy. Like,
yeah.
Like speaking of music, there have been times where I've just been like in a really low place and was struggling to pull myself, keywords there, pull myself out of that.
Yep.
And then just like would be driving in my car, have like a random inkling to listen to something different than what I would normally be listening to in that season, and just put either worship on, or sometimes it would just be like a Christian artist that's not necessarily worship, and then those
something
words speak
uplifting.
right into and something that I mentioned on a different podcast, Let the Bible Speak. I've been filling in over there as
busy
well.
Man.
Yes. And when I moved here from Tallahassee like last September.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And it's been difficult. Like I have family here. My sister, brother-in-law, niece, and nephew are here.
That's
and
cool.
I'm living with them right now, and that's been great. But it's been hard leaving Tallahassee, and I'm already not a great communicator, and so
were you born in Tallahassee? Like that's where you're from?
Born in Tennessee, then lived in Kentucky, and then was in Tallahassee for like 11 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've moved around a little bit. Yeah.
Then that's understandable. That's like a big chunk of your
life.
life.
And it was like I was having a really hard time communicating with people back home, and then that seeped into my communication with the Lord. It was just it was not good, and like I did not at all deserve the like a gracious pick me up, if that makes sense. But even so, through the Let the Bible Speak podcast, and through I don't know if Kim knows this, but through this podcast, every single time that I was on one of these two podcasts, the Lord would use whatever topic they were talking about to speak directly to what was in my head at that point.
He loves us so much.
And it's wild. I think Gerardo had mentioned that he had kind of been in a similar situation a while back too.
That is so cool.
Experienced that with the podcast, but it's just so wild and cool to hear this in your story too, that the Lord seeks us out even when we stop believing that he does, you know.
Because I guess in our actions, like, it is really an act of unbelief.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't be acting like that if we really truly did believe. So
yeah, and something we talked about at my church this past Sunday, I think the Sunday before too, is that you see in the Bible that there's instances of belief where like Jesus did a miracle and the people believed in Jesus, and that they were impressed and believed in his power and that kind of thing, but they weren't recognizing like their need for him. And I think that sometimes we get in ruts like that too, where it's like, I would say that I like altogether stopped believing in God. I stopped acting on my belief. Exactly. Yeah. I started acting like I could pull myself out of this, which I've never...
Started believing in ourselves.
Yes.
Ooh. Scary.
Which is dumb because I'm really bad at...
We're so bad.
Things.
Yes.
Like I know people that... Not saying that they need Jesus less. Let me make that be clear. But I know people that are just like very high functioning individuals, even in like a hard season. That's not me.
I think about that constantly.
Yeah, that's not me.
But that's us comparing ourselves to somebody else.
Exactly.
Because they, for sure, have their own things that are going on in their issues. It's just in a different department, I guess.
Exactly.
We're just unorganized.
Exactly. And so, in some areas of life, it can be easy to feel like we can rely on ourselves, but I have found in every area of life that I've tried to do that, and I fail miserably.
Yep.
And so, very thankful for the Lord and for Him using Kim and this podcast to lift me up. And cool hearing God
just
seek you out
reminders.
in that moment. Like not even telling anybody about what was going on internally, and then not once but twice.
That's
somebody
wild.
comes up
that
and is like,
so
"Hey,
wild.
actually,
I love it when
your
we
heart's
get
gonna
like,
work right."
Yeah, like when people just come up and have a word for you, it's like, for me,
Like,
oh my
what?
gosh, God has the entire world to look at and take care of, and He's talking to me right now in Covington, Louisiana.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes, I got goosebumps a little bit.
It's so wild to think about.
Yeah, I remember, or a lot of times, I think the Lord speaks to me primarily through His people. Like
Always
through.
I never have self-revelations.
Yeah,
I wish I did.
I do too. I wish I did too. I often think like, Lord, that would make things a lot easier.
Yes.
But I feel like He reminds me often too that it's like, one, it's not about what would make things easier for you, but also I feel like that's another example of Him meeting us where we're at.
Yeah.
That I'm such an anxious person that second guesses myself a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think that if I were to have if God were to give me a
You'd be like,
revelation
"Is
of
that my
some kind,
thought?"
I'd be like, "What's that?
Yeah.
Is that?" So I think God uses the people He's put in my life to kind of
That's awesome.
gently or not so gently, like slap me back to reality and be like, "Hello, I'm
Sometimes
here."
it's like, oh,
My bad.
ouch. Okay,
My bad.
but it has to happen.
Yeah, but and to kind of bring that back to music, I think that's why worship and using your musical gifts, those who are listening who have musical gifts, that any gift you have,
or if you have a kid
yeah,
that is expressing interest in music,
yes, it's so
support that.
It's so good.
It's so could save their life.
Yes,
Literally.
and through that, God could use that to save somebody else's life. Because the thing that really made me kind of lock in with music, I remember listening in my bed to a song, and it moved me towards God, and I was like, "Ooh!"
For me, it was that song "Oceans" by Hillsong.
That
so one just like did a number on me in like sixth or seventh grade.
Yeah, yes.
It was like,
yes,
whoa, and that's been like almost my worship theme song, if you could say.
Yes, I could say that too. There have been a couple seasons of life where I've sung that and like tried to pray it, and then the Lord did lead me into waters unknown, and I was like, "Whoa,
yeah!"
I did not ask for this," and He's like,
for.
"Actually, you did."
You got to be real
like,
specific.
"Oh, you're right.
Yes,
My bad."
That's so true.
But yeah, music has just moved me so many times in life, and I love to work with the Lord too.
Yeah.
Like, I can't put any expectation on myself that I'm going to move somebody else to do that, but I love the opportunity to potentially be able to lead someone else to the Lord that way.
I like, sometimes I'll like, negative self-talk. I'll be like, man, I don't go out and evangelize enough. I don't talk to people. I don't talk to anyone about, I do with my music though. Like even in school, just because I'm not saying anything with like directly dealing with God, because public school, but I am instilling like that, what do you call it? Like
that value, that
I guess I'm trying to teach these kids good morals without being like aggressive with it, because you know how it is. It's a very fine line you got to walk there with like how you are in a school setting. But even though I'm not out talking to people like in the grocery store and stuff necessarily, I am with my music in another way, whether that's sharing it on social media or just doing it at church or doing something else, a public event or whatever. That's my thing. Some people are gifted with like conversation skills. Ain't me. And that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. And I think that even that way of evangelizing and leading can lead to, even as someone that may not naturally be a conversationalist,
yes,
it can still lead to good conversations, because then your life is very much so defined by God and this purpose he's given you. And so it's really hard when you're living a life of God-given purpose, like with music. It's really hard when people ask you about your life to not talk about it.
Very true.
Like, my strategy on evangelism has always been to fill my life so much with the Lord that
you can't help yourself.
Yes, I can't help.
I'm working on that.
From being able to, I'm not saying that I'm good at this. That's right. I'm so anxious that I'm so bad at
people make me nervous,
talking to people out in public. But yeah, my goal has always been to be like people that fill their lives so much with it that it's hard to have a conversation without God coming up. If that makes
just
sense.
mentioning like what God's done for you.
Yeah. So
it's everything.
Yes.
Literally everything.
Everything. So yeah, that's all I got. Unless you got something else. But
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. But I know this was kind of an ADHD conversation, and
but those are fun.
Those are fun. That happens sometimes. I think even when Kim is on and has her really good questions and that kind of thing. But Holy Rabbit Trails is what
Holy Rabbit
Sunday
Trails.
school teacher back in my
that's so
my
cute.
church in Tallahassee. He taught middle school there,
that.
and he refers to himself as Crazy Tom. I don't know where that came from, but we love Tom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but anytime he would kids would get off, he would graciously kind of allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
He called them Holy Rabbit Trails.
That's so cute.
But,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here.
Thank you
and
for having me.
Talking with me kind of last minute. And
it was fun.
Yeah, thank you all for listening. I hope you got something out of it. Again, I can't set any expectation on myself to be inspiring, but I hope that the Lord inspired. Thank you. So, thanks for tuning in.